Aha, there I am. So, just so you know why I say that, I click the go live button in my software, and then I have to go over and check to see when the streams go live in the different platforms. But I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. I hope, let me turn on commenting here so I can see it. If you're joining me, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me something you're excited about, something you're working on, or just share questions. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, I shared what I believe are 3 keys to sustainable growth. And I'll share those first, and then I'll talk about why I'm bringing that back up again today. It's something I certainly want to continue to talk about, but I've felt like there's been some recent events that have confirmed for me not just those keys, but some other connections I've made in some of my recent work and sort of the pivot I'm about to make in who I most want to work with. I'll share a little bit about all of that maybe. But first, it's the 3 keys. The first one is to genuinely connect with other people. Forget about work, forget about selling, forget about all of those things. If you want to create a sustainable relationship with people who can either become your lifelong clients or connect you with those who should be your lifelong clients, focus on just making new, outstanding, credible, curiosity-driven connections. It's called winning friends, making friends, and influencing people. So How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Tremendous resource. If you've never read that book, I certainly encourage it. Encourage it. Will, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining. Let me know if you have questions or comments, or if you have something to share. I'd love to hear that. The second key is to serve people first, to help them. Maybe it's something that they need, a challenge that they're working on that your input could be valuable to. Maybe it's connecting them with another resource or another opportunity, or because you're their friend, you know their heart, the people they are, you could provide them with good referrals to quality people that will help sustain their business over long periods of time. And there's a reward in that all by itself. It's feeling good about serving and helping others. And the reward from that is also in reinforcing those relationships that we started with in the connection phase. And then the third piece is to be confident and clear in your offer and your ask. And I think the best way to continue to do that over and over again is to practice these 3 keys. It's to be honest about what your intentions are. Be honest about your image, and be the best you can be when you show up. So I said intentions, and that's true, but it's also the key. The second key piece is being clear about your intentions and not hiding them. If your intention is to build a relationship that leads to referrals, and maybe the opportunity to work with that person, just be clear about it. People appreciate and value that level of honesty. The third piece that I want to bring up will be treat people the way in such a way that if your interaction with them were to have been recorded, you'd be happy to see it shared with others instead of upset or guilty feelings, or maybe something else. So treat people, well, the way you'd like to be treated, but in such a way that you'd be happy if it was shared with others. And I think those things coupled together are how you can create great experiences. I'm blessed to attend monthly a Biblical Entrepreneurs Connect group here with our local church. We meet once a month on Thursday mornings early, and we just have different focused conversations. And today's conversation had a lot to do with honor, integrity, honesty, character, which led to how do you build a reputation, right? Because your reputation is directly tied to the character, to you as a person, and how you show up in business. You know, I talked the other day when I presented these 3 keys to sustainable growth that it's really easy to consider how you might pursue a shortcut to making more money in business now, more money in life now. And the truth is, I don't think that there's any shortcuts that actually work when we talk about it from a sustainable growth perspective. Long-term sustained success in life and in work requires that you do the work. Now, it doesn't have to be manual labor work. It doesn't have to be getting your hands dirty. That's something I had to equate in my mind, that it's okay for me to get paid as a coach and not get my hands dirty, because I'm still working, I'm still serving, I'm still helping other people. And I'm doing it in such a way that every ounce of me is poured into those relationships. And I'm present in those moments with the people around me. I'm present with the moments of people. I'm present in the moments of people around me to the best of my ability outside of business. And I'm not without flaw at all. In fact, I'm probably further than many of the people I associate with, because I associate with some really high quality, high character people of integrity. And I believe in integrity, and I try to my best to live it in everything I do. And I make mistakes just like anyone else. But how we show up is probably the most important thing from a long-term sustainable growth in our personal lives and our business lives perspective. So the conversation this morning, had a lot to do with that, and how we view those reputations and the little things that are often so tempting that can have tremendous impacts and tremendous cost to our reputation. The temptation to shortcut in a service, or if in this morning's conversation, the gentleman was a contractor. He paints houses, and it would be really easy for him to do things like take cash under the table to make it a deal for everybody, to not report that to his bookkeeper. It would be real easy for him to skip priming and just put 2 coats of paint on, if he thought that the color and the quality of the paint would just be enough by itself that they wouldn't notice, and it would cost him less. So he could shortcut that. But in the end, it would cost in his reputation and the quality of his work and the quality of his character and how he showed up continuously. He does a lot of work in a word of mouth referral basis because people say he has honor, he has integrity, he has a quality character, and his work is outstanding. And that's how you grow. That's how you build a sustainable business and a sustainable life, is to be able to show up that way in all the things you're doing, in those relationships you're building, which is why that first piece, the first key, is so tremendously important, is just being genuinely interested in connecting with other people. Those are the thoughts that I wanted to share today, but Will's got a comment over here. He sought some advice from a realtor that I've worked with in the past about my business idea. He thought I was asking him for money. I said I would have a lead with the money discussion if that were my aim. Or I would have to lead. Got it. I would have led with the money discussion if that were my aim, and then shared the details of how I would use it and pay him back to provide an ROI. Yeah. So great. Starting with being clear about our intentions. And man, you bring up such a great example, because we feel that way as a result of so many people around us these days in business, especially with all the marketing and social media connections. And you get message after message that you can just see a sales pitch being telegraphed. And even if that's not their intent, sometimes that's how it feels, and we go on the defensive. So if you can be clear about your intentions up front, you save everyone a lot of hassle. And you it's a shame that right now many businesses who are working on lead generation consistently have to defend that first. They have to get around that defense mechanism. And here's a tip. If you are one of those that's working to generate new leads for your business, to generate new sales for your business, and you do cold calling or any other lead generation efforts, do something that's different. Do something that's not the telegraphed sales pitch. And don't start your conversation with, "Hi, this is Dan from X company, and the reason I'm reaching out to you today." Because what's next? Everybody knows what comes after that phrase, and we tune you out immediately. If you cold called me and tell me that script, unless you tell me something that just blows my mind right then, I've already tuned you out. And so think about ways you can change the game on that conversation. And I learned as a partner with HubSpot that from Dan Tyre, he's a great resource for sales leadership, and he helped people change the game from cold calling. And he suggested some simple advice, and he referenced, if you look it up, it's what's called activating the lizard brain by starting your call with, "Hi, this is Dan from X company," and pausing there until they speak. Because what happens then is it's not a normal cold call sales pitch. It's, "How do I know Dan? What might Dan be calling about?" And then you get a number of responses. And it might be that they recognize this is probably a cold call, but it might not be. They might say, "And how can I help you?" Well, that's funny because I was calling to help you. You can do things that throw people off of their normal routine because they're so used to being bombarded with cold calls and sales messages that have no real power because they haven't done any work to build a genuine connection first. And so it might work well in the short term, but I'd venture to say that if you look at their numbers, there's a lot more cold calls being made than there are sales. And then who's taking care of those sales relationships after the fact? So if you're a solopreneur, that's an important consideration. What's the cost of all that? Those are the thoughts I came here to share today, and a little bit more. I got to take a short lunch break, and then I've got some more meetings for this afternoon. So if there's no more comments, questions, or other things you'd like to share, I'll look, because I know that there's a slight lag in the commenting, but I'm grateful for those that showed up today. I'm grateful for those who watch this video later. And I'm looking forward to sharing some pivots I'm making here in the extreme near future. So hopefully, potentially as early as the end of this week. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing your lovely faces and comments again tomorrow.